When getting a new CPU-GPU combo, you need to make sure you have the right GPU and you have a CPU that will not bottleneck your GPU. And trust me, I know a lot of people that will spend a ton of money on the CPU and then end up getting a GPU that will not give them the performance that they want, or even worse, they choose a massive GPU with a CPU that will bottleneck and end up getting not the performance that they want, but also FPS drops. For that reason, I will show you my favorite price to performance gaming CPU-GPU combos that you can buy right now. If you're a beginner, don't worry, because I will explain what these combos are capable of achieving while gaming. You will have the links to all of these components in the video description. That being said, let's start. With the first combo, we have the cheapest one on the list in the i3-12100F for the CPU, and then we have the Intel Arc A750 for the GPU. This CPU-GPU combo is excellent for 1080p budget gaming, and not only that, but you get the AV1 encoding in the Intel Arc A750, and if you're not familiar with it, it's basically the latest encoder for streaming, so if you want to start streaming, it will look amazing. The Intel Arc A750 at 1080p ultra settings on an 8-game average, it was able to manage 75 FPS on average, which is a really high number considering we are talking about ultra settings on high demanding titles. If you want to play esports titles, for example Fortnite, you will be able to run this game at above 200 FPS on average on competitive settings. And then not only is a great combo for 1080p, but it's a decent combo for 1440p as well. On the same 8-game average, this time at 1440p on ultra settings, it was able to manage 59 FPS, so you can get a really decent 60 plus FPS on average experience at 1440p ultra settings. With the next combo, we have the AMD Ryzen 5 5600 alongside the RX 6700 XT. This is a 1080p ultra / 1440p high combo at a really decent price. On a 14-game average at 1080p high quality settings, the 6700 XT was able to average 150 FPS, and once again, this is insane considering we are talking about high quality settings and some high demanding titles being tested. For esports titles at 1080p, you will be able to buy a 240 or even a 360Hz monitor and take advantage of it depending on the game and settings. And then for 1440p, on that same 14-game average on high quality settings, is able to manage 114 FPS on average, which is a really high number considering the price that you're paying here. And this makes much more sense for 1440p than the last one, because the 6700 XT has 12 gigs of VRAM. That being said, if you want to play really high demanding titles, for example Hogwarts Legacy, you will be able to play it at ultra settings with no issues. And the most important part about these combos is that because they have no bottlenecks, you will not experience FPS drops as long as the game is well optimized. With the next combo, we have the AMD Ryzen 5 7600 from the AM5 platform, so here you get a more future-proof combo, and then you get the RX 6800 XT for the GPU. And what makes this combo so great is that if you want to play at 1440p ultra settings, this GPU has no limits. On a 16-game average at 1440p, the 6800 XT was able to average 125 FPS, and because you get 16 gigs of VRAM, you can also play at 4K with no issue, and at 4K on that same 16-game average, it was able to manage 70 FPS, so if you want a 60 plus FPS on average experience, 4K, and you do not want to spend a ton of money, this is the right combo to go with. But I would recommend it more for those who want to play at 1440p with no limitations at a decent price. The total price for this combo is $730, and if you pair it with the right components, you should be able to spend around $1,100 to $1,200 on a PC with these components and no other bottlenecks. If you want to get a whole PC with no bottlenecks with this CPU-GPU combo, you can watch my video about the best $1,200 1440p and 4K gaming high FPS PC build. You will have that video in the top right of the screen, and trust me, if you have around $1,200 to spend on a system, this one is by far the best value that you can get in terms of price to performance. And with the last combo, we have the AMD Ryzen 7 7700X alongside the RX 7900 XT. The 7900 XT is a maxed out 1440p gaming GPU that was able to manage 160 FPS on average on the same 16-game average I've mentioned before for the other GPU, and then at 4K it was able to average 94 FPS, right below the RTX 4080 and the RX 7900 XT, which both of them are at least $200 more expensive. So in terms of value, I believe this one is the best one. You have no limitations when it comes to VRAM. It has 20 gigs of VRAM, so even if you want to play at 4K ultra settings, you will be fine. And yes, if you have more money, you can get better performance. However, if you're looking for the best price to performance CPU GPU combo, I believe this one is the best one when it comes to gaming. The price for this CPU GPU combo is $1,068, so you can get a whole system if you do it right for around $1,500 to $1,600 without bottlenecking these components. And the best part is that you will get an amazing performance for any resolution, but I would recommend it for 1440p ultra settings or 4K high. You probably noticed that throughout the video I mentioned that if you do it right, you might get a whole PC at X price, and that's because you can actually bottleneck the system with other components. You can get a power supply that will make the CPU GPU combo explode. You can get a case with no airflow, or a CPU cooler that will kill the CPU. You can also get a motherboard that's not compatible. You have to have a ton of things in mind, and if you're a beginner, I completely understand it's not easy. For that reason, you can ask me for personal PC help on my website. Link will be in the comment section and in the description, and I will help you with the right PC build or Prebuilt PC depending on your needs. Maybe your mainly focus is streaming, and that's completely fine, or maybe your mainly focus is content creation, productivity work. There are a million different things that you can do with a PC, so trust me, I will help you out with the best one possible, and I guarantee you 0% bottleneck with the PC I recommend you. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.